I am a psychopath dressed as Ni Wen. When the hostess opened her eyes, she was being framed for stealing money in full view. The man named Pei Yan pressed me on the ground, wanted to search me. He is the school bully. The family is rich and powerful. No one dares to provoke in the plot. The hostess was stripped naked by him, took nude photos and posted them on the internet. She could understand the blow and dropped out of school soon. Now Pei Yan Shan has reached my waist and is about to tear off my clothes. He looked at the teenager with the sword eyebrow star in front of me and felt my heart pounding. He is really handsome. He is my favorite type. Use some other skills. Suppressed Pei Yan under me with my backhand. Smiled and asked him, Pei Yan, do you like me? Pei Yan was stunned at first, then suddenly struggled. Her face flushed with anger. Fang Min, what are you talking about? I showed a look that I understand. You clearly saw Lim Pan Pan stealing money and pretended not to know that you wanted to search me. Dang He, you just want to find Erison to touch me. This is not like what is it? As soon as this was said, everyone was stunned. Lim Pan Pan's face went white, and whoops, Edie Dang Ti, Fang Min, don't slander me. She has always been a green tea, and her first reaction is to pretend to be pitiful. But this time, before she could shed tears, I pulled her school bag. I shook the contents like crazy, and 3,000 yuan of cash just crashed down. I learned his expression, twisting my waist and limbs meow. Not you, really, not you. Money must fly into your bag, automatically with wings. Some people didn't trust us laughing. Lim Pan Pan turned green and bit his lower lip to pull Pei Yan's sleeve. Pei Yan, say something. Pei Yan pushed me away and only protected Lim Pan Pan behind. Pan Pan didn't steal money. I sent it. 3,000? I gave 3,000 to everyone present. Even if the matter is settled, no one is allowed to turn out before going to the bank to withdraw money. He also put down harsh words. Fang me, you cheap dog waiting. I'll let you know how I like you when it comes to liking. He also deliberately emphasized the pronunciation. It covered my mouth. Suddenly, my heart beat faster. After he left, my classmates patted me on the shoulder to say goodbye, afraid that even if he was a school bully, he could not cover the sky with one hand. My face is puzzled. What am I afraid? Pei Yan said she liked me, and I was too late to be happy. There is a big question mark in the eyes of the students. Are you alright? Are you scared, silly? I reassured him that I was fine, just sick. I was mentally ill. Psychiatric examination revealed a lot of pathology that cannot empathize, is self-centered, has a strong desire for control, has a strong desire for revenge, has a tendency to hurt people, and is at 6s and 7s. I only remember a delusion of being like D, just like the delusion of being persecuted. I always think that someone will harm me. I always think that others like it. When I was a child, my male desk mate just picked up a rubber for me. I decided that he liked me and bought a diamond ring with pocket money to propose to her. When he grew up, my illness became more serious. Just seeing strangers nodding and smiling at me, I thought he was interested in me, so I had to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to register. Later, under the doctor's treatment, I gradually understood that the opposite sex, kindness to you does not mean that I like you, and I should follow the doctor. Read more romance novels and learn what you like. Read You 3,000 Times is the first novel I read. The strange thing is that the men inside are not good to the women. Bullying, humiliating, imprisoned, and even breaking the legs of the women. But these men all love the women, and love them too. Death. So I realized that since releasing goodwill is not like releasing malice is lost. Just before I could ask the doctor for confirmation, I whirred into the novel and met Pei Yan, one of the male owners. As long as I can remember, Pei Yan bullied the mistress, stuck her hair with chewing gum, applied glue on a stool, deliberately cut the mistress's group, and even intensified when she went to high school, calling on gangsters to bully the mistress. Collectively, it was not until the mistress dropped out of school that he realized that he liked D the mistress and bully Ed the mistress in order to attract his attention. The hostess in the original book only felt horrible and did not understand Pei Yan's love at all. But I am different from her. I know Pei Yan likes me, and I also like her. The doctor said that people will treat others in the way they like to be treated. For Pei Yan, if you like someone, you will bully her. So I also have to bully Pei Yan. Often this is a two-way rush. I went to the toilet during the break. When I came back, the tables had been turned upside down. The tables and chairs were covered with muddy, dirty water. The sanitary napkins were disassembled and pasted on the table to make the word sea dog. I moved in my heart and looked forward to Pei Yan. Did you do it? Pei Yan's provocative lip hook compared a middle finger to me. Nonsense. Feel lousy love for you. The moment I saw the dog, my scalp was numb with excitement. He really loved me. I had to tell him that I loved him too. So I kicked Pei Yan's desk, poured Ed the sewage that the on-duty student had not had time to pour on him, picked up my school bag and smashed it on his head. As out of movements, Pei Yan was stunned by me and fell to the ground. Caught off guard, he sat down on him and put the unpacked tampon into a lupe and stuffed Ed into his mouth. Hey, do bitchy dogs like the big bones their owners give you? The compensation court seems to like the word cheap dog very much and always calls me it. I decided to return these two words to him. Dog is shy. Why don't you talk? Pei Yan says we're breathing fire. He struggled desperately, but only made a sub-sound. I realized again that I must have done it too lightly, and he didn't like it. Enough. So I opened my bow left and right, slapped him crazily without hitting him. I also asked, does the base dog like the owner to reward you? No response to the words. Continue to play. Colleagues had already reacted from their initial surprise and came up to pull me, but I am and can topple it off. Pei Yan rewarded me for 10 minutes. It was not until the bell rang that I was pulled apart by the teachers who came. Pei Yan's face was swollen like a pig. She'd eye knocked out 2 teeth and her mouth was full of blood. Even so, he insisted on saying in a vague voice, "Fang Min, you smelly, Lao Zai will have it sooner or later." I really didn't dare what I said later, because I had already kicked him. Unconscious, it is love to beat her escort, love to the extreme. Kick me with your feet so hard. Can he understand my heart? The head teacher is a greasy bald man. He said that I bullied Pei Yan and asked me to kneel down in public and apologize to Pei Yan. I said Pei Yan provoked me. First he just fought back, as assault. He pointed at my forehead and showed Ted. Abuse. Why don't people bully others? Only bully you, it takes two to tango. Sometimes think more about whether it is their own problem. Hearing this, I directly slapped him on the face. Full of seriousness, teacher, you see. A slap can also ring. Before he could react, the backhand was another big slap. The teacher asked me to test you. Why did I only hit you instead of others? The head teacher was mad and said that he would let me drop out of school. Insolently took out my cell phone and started live broadcasting my family. 5 minutes later, a poor girl who had no father or mother was bullied on campus and was forced to drop out of school by the head teacher would come down from the ceiling and not take the stairs. Don't take the elevator. Stop, stop. You dare take the head teacher's face livid. Dare not mention dropping out of school again. Can only punish me to clean the toilet. I was blocked by Lim Pan Pan as soon as he entered the toilet with a bucket without a sparing partner. He took off his white camouflage and showed his true colors. She asked me to take the blame for her, saying that I deliberately put the money in her bag. Otherwise, I would be beaten. It glanced at him, followed by 5 spiritual little sisters. Edidon trudged to agree, but pushed open the compartment doors one by one. As we all know, doesn't everyone have it? Not everyone will rush after. Finally, I found what he wanted in the outermost compartment. He grabbed the stick beside me and poked it at the lung. The spear was stained with excrement. Lubu was alive. I waved astic and hit them merciless lie. The titanium sisters screamed and fled in 4 places. Fang Min, you played dirty. He switched my index finger from side to side. No, it is. Not that the front can Tafford. It just makes the stick more cost-effective. At this point, I poked the end with the material into Lim Pan Pan's mouth. In the evening, Lim Pan Pan was sent to the hospital for gastric lavage. I owed hot tomato beef brisket noodles. At home, we all have a bright future. At home, I met my sick brother. Soon, he held his chin and swept his body with cold eyes. He looked at me as if I were a cold, poisoned tongue, looking at the prey that was about to be strangled. If it were the original hostess, she would be shivering to the point where she could not eat. But I have God's perspective. Ignore that. Fuju also likes female masters. She is occult, adopted by female master's parents and is 5 years older than female masters. 3 years ago, the hostess parents found Fuju hiding her sister's underwear. They were afraid that he would do something bad to her daughter, so they planned to send her to her grandmother's house in the countryside as air salt. Fuju deliberately set fire to death her adoptive parents. After her parents died, Fuju became the guardian of the hostess. He began to control his life, above, and the mistress would be punished if he did not follow his heart. When eating, Fuju pounced as usual. I said I was a waste. No one would love me except her, and told me not to go to school, stay with her obedient lie, and she will raise my left ear and right ear. Perhaps my absent-mindedness was too obvious. Fuju was angry again. He clicked and added a collar to my neck. What is Min Min thinking? What's more important than listening to your brother? Fuju held the chain, and his lips hooked up, but there was no smile in his eyes. It was not good to listen to his brother. There was a crisp and numb current passing through the neck of the valve. Yoseis were morbid with Asmael. Min, you are not good. No matter how you ask me today, I will not stop talking. He grabbed the chain and hit him like Ao. Who is it too? Scared with such adult chain. Want to use electric shock to make me soft. Ridiculous. I was admitted to a mental hospital when I was 7 years old. I was immunized by electric shocks of this degree since I was killed. Soon I was dragged down from my wheelchair and lay LT on the ground in Ames's. With adult face, I will cover my chain and scold him while smoking. Let me not go to school to accompany you, and you will not. See if you match you. You are a waste who can stand up and don't even have a serious job. You spend my parents' death insurance money every day. How dare you say to raise me? I'm obviously raising you. Fuju could understand the pain and wailed. I was even more excited when I heard her scream. Fuju is Asic and charming lover. The way is to imprison, control and punish. Male and female masters cannot accept this kind of feeling. But Eom so cute and miserable. I untied my neck collar and buckled him around. Fuju, snap. Brother, without me you are a waste. So you must be my dog. Do you understand? Fujuxi was imprisoned. Then I will imprison him and be my slave. Fuju was punished by me all night. The torture tools he had prepared for the mistress were finally used on himself. His legs were disabled, and he could not escape. He could only bear it. In the end, his voice was hoarse, and he cried and begged me to let him go. The key to dog training is to hit Astic and give a sweet date. He dragged his chin and asked gently, Brother, will you listen to me in the future? Fuju says I lost. No matter what I say, I will only obey. Well, I was finally satisfied and went to school happily carrying a big school bag. When I passed an alley, I was blocked by a group of hooligans. They approached me with undisguised malice in their eyes. Little sister, play with my brother. Eek knew at Oglans that it was another suitor who liked me. I took your heart for this damn charm. But I didn't like crooked melons and cracked dates. Ugly refused, insolently pulled them away, and tried to squeeze through the gap. But Wang Mao grabbed my collar with a black face. What did UTM say? Who let you go? Lao Zai lets you take off your clothes and play with Lao Zai. He sighed helpless lie. Well, since they insisted on not playing, come on, let's go. The hooligans looked at each other and smiled. They couldn't wait to reach out and touch my body. At this moment, I pressed the button. In an instant, everyone convulsed and fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth, looking at the mud-like man in the ground. I squatted down and slapped him. That's it. Aren't you going to play? Get up. After a few fanning, I felt a little bored. These people are far from Fu. Fuju did well yesterday. He liked it very much. So especially brought our love letter electric. Shock collar. I didn't expect it to come in handy. Just because he got an electric shock doesn't mean anyone else can. I picked up Hong Mao's cell phone and planned to call them an ambulance. But I accidentally saw Pei Yan's massage. It turned out that he asked these people to play with me and said that I must take pictures of my painful tears begging for mercy. He really loved me and I cried to death. Pei Yan has shown such love. Of course I can't fall behind. I came to school early and arranged it carefully. In class, the teacher called everyone to go up and get the test paper. Soon it was Pei Yan's turn. He did not get up, but stared at me with an ugly face. He smiled at her. Pei Yan's chair was covered with strong glue unless he took off his pants. Otherwise, the bum will never be able to lift from the chair. How nice, like glue, like our love. I am not feeling well. I'll get it later. Pei Yan pretended to be calm and forward the past. People pretend to be busy when they are embarrassed. He opened his glass and took a sip of it. Then his face changed, frowning and spitting out the contents of his mouth. Bah, what is this? In his palm was a few cockroaches. When I was in junior high school for the woman he caught, Pei Yan once forced him to eat cockroaches raw. The woman refused to compensate. Yang burned the woman's mouth with burning cigarette butts. Up to now, I have faint scars on the corners of my mouth. Since Pei Yan likes eating, I will let him eat enough. Seeing cockroaches, Pei Yan was very happy. He picked up the cup and threw it at me to share it with me. Equally bowed my head. Instead of hitting me, the cup hit Lim Pan Pan's dead cockroach and pasted it on his face. Lim Pan Pan froze for a moment, making a sharp burst. Now Pei Yan was in a hurry. She got up suddenly and hissed. The pants were torn off by glue. In the dead silence, I whistled. Wow, Pei Yan, your underpants are so sexy. He liked them very much. Pei Yan covered her bum and stared at me severely. Her eyes were scarlet. Fang Min, you wait for me after that. Pei Yan and Eba gone to show our love to each other. She made me a yellow rumor, saying that my private life was chaotic and anyone could go. It found the fourth love action movie and changed the main characters into me and Pei Yan too. Printed out for everyone to read. Pei Yan Feng Sete. Reward for others to collect money from her by making my photos. I colluded with others and pretended to be beaten for 50 cents, earning more than 50,000 a week. After Lu Xingyan knew about it, she angry lie stopped the charity project. She went to the principal and said she was willing to donate the building on the condition that the school expel led me. But she was doomed to miscalculate because he got the first place in the 8th province joint examination. I am now the province golden cake, the default provincial champion, and all schools are rushing to ask for it. My teacher changed his attitude towards me, caring and attentive to me, responding to every request, and ordered others not to hurt me. That, however, Pei Yan's life began to be difficult. He was the illegitimate son of Eric Man and had a bad reputation and was not recognized by his family during this period of time. She frequently asked her family for money, and her father cut off his financial resources in rage. Pei Yan finally realized that he could beat me. The whole person faded and began to hide from me. He realized that Pei Yan was deliberately staying away from me. He was not well. The man's heart is any dill under the sea. Why did he suddenly become cold to me? But it does end to matter. I still love him. I active response. Put mud in his bag, stuffed toad in his seat, and slapped him as a greeting of love when we met. I learned fighting before crossing. Pei Yan was not my opponent at all. Every time I was beaten black and blue all over. The teacher turned a blind eye to my behavior, and the person who complained of no way became Pei Yan. Another day, I blocked her in the sports equipment room, intending to give her 2 punches to show my heart. Pei Yan plopped down on his knees and begged me for mercy. Please, Linji, I was wrong to hit you before. Please raise your hand and let me go. He frowned and pulled him up. What's wrong with you? You just love it too much. Pei Yan wants to cry, without tears. I didn't love you. I gave him a good slap in the mouth. Nonsense, you don't love me, why hit me? Pei Yan covered her face and was completely stunned. I continued to confess to her. He hit you, just to tell you that I love you too. Otherwise, why don't I hit others? After a long time, Pei Yan trembled and said, are you sick? I blushed and nodded. Mentally ill, also want to fall in love. Pei Yan face, ferocious as sea, old dirty word. During this period of time, he ran away from me, and it was difficult for him to fly. When I was chasing Pei Yan frantically, the last male owner saw me off and came back. Sending off is the woman's secret crush. On the surface, she is a gentle male god, but behind her back, she is Askham who plays with people's shears. He deliberately approached the hostess and gave the hostess a little warm th in hell. After the hostess likes him, she publicly humiliates the hostess and appreciates the love letter she wrote to him on the bulletin board. Now there was a group of people around the bulletin board, and the girl Xiang in hidden love was read aloud, sentence by sentence. Pei Yan looked at Song Xing, expectant. There was a light in his eyes to see him off. Fang Min, like you love you, and be with him. His eyes were so bright that he almost didn't kneel down to say the ball. Song Xing is full of disgust. Don't. Fang Min is dirty and smelly, and he still smells like a garbage can. You think he is disgusting. Pei Yan gasped, and his eyes instantly became frightened. Lin Pan screamed and showed Ted at him to see him off. He was given a list. Do you dare to say this? You're not going to die. Others also unconscious. Lai took 2 steps back and kept a distance from Song. Sung Hing looked puzzled. He had just returned from other places and did not know my deeds. He thought I was the one who could be bullied. I cut through the crowd and walked up to him. After seeing me, Sung Hing's somber eyes flashed a trace of mockery. His mouth opened and closed, and his humiliating words were not heavy. He said, I was a toad and wanted to eat swan meat. He said I should look in the mirror. He also said that I, like Dean, made him feel sick. A lowly man like me shouldn't have him be in the same room with him. I listened with a deep smile on my face. The setting of seeing off in the book is that I have a different heart, like the hostess, but look down on him. And I have to humiliate others, just like now. He obviously loves me miserably, but he has to say the opposite too. Get my attention. Are you proud? I know everything. It is said in the novel that I only want to be proud. In this case, a strong kiss is right. So the former resident in Song gave a good kiss on the chin. Strong kiss, or the mage's tongue kiss. Sung Hing was stunned at first, and then struggled like a fish lacking oxygen. I pulled over the stunned Pei Yan and trapped Song. Hanging between us with his back steel gun, Pei Yan was stiff like an iron plate and did not dare to move. He maintained this strange posture. I didn't let go until my tongue swept and saw off every 3.33 centimeters in my mouth. I squeezed my little face to see me off and smiled sweetly. You have such a sweet mouth to see you off. But how can your words be fat and smelly? Fortunately, I just ate garlic. Garlic sterilization can give your mouth a good disinfection. Don't thank me who let me like you. The end of her ears was still the same, but her face was already blue. She made a few noises like dying, and finally could and felt rushing to the bathroom to vomit. He blushed and was not satisfied. I was just about to chase and see off, but I was caught off guard and looked at Pei Yan. In hindsight, I was busy seeing off just now. Pei Yan should not feel left out. Sure enough, Pei Yan burst into tears and asked pitiful Lai, if you like to see me off, can you let me go? I gave him Avery's silky slap in the face. Don't tap. Jealous. You want to get all the rain and dew. You like both of you. He went both. Compensation flaming for a while. Let out a cry of despair. After school, I keep in mind the principle of rain and dew. Left hand holding Pei Yan, right hand holding farewell. In the eyes of everyone, surprise and envy. Swagger out of the school gate. They fought hard, but neither of them could earn my strength. I couldn't help seeing him off on the road. I covered my nose and vomited. Ick no. He did it on purpose. Just want me to care about him. Fortunate lie. I am competing for favor in front of Pei Yan. Ick no. All these careful machines of men. I stretch out my hand to touch my belly to see me off. He whispered in her ear with a low bubble sound. Little fool. This kiss will not be pregnant. Dian Tretran too. Vomit during pregnancy next time. Be good. Before I finished speaking, I couldn't help burping. The heat sprayed on Sung Hing's face, mixed with the smell of garlic and food digestion. Sung Hing was pale and hunched head over her back to beat her bile. I patted her on the back and gave her good breath. At this moment, a sharp female voice came. Fang Min, it was you who were away from my son again. The middle-aged aunt rushed at me with her fist. He grabbed my hair and pulled me back and punched and kicked me. Sung Hing was already pale. After seeing him, his face became even worse. He quickly took his aunt's hand and pulled back. Mom, what are you doing? This is school. The aunt was dragged away and still stared at me, looking at me like an enemy. Only then did I recognize him as the mother Wang Ai Nan who saw him off. Wang Ai Nan had also been to school once before. At that time, she did not pass the monthly exam and the hostess came second. When he knew about it, he came to the school to make a scene, saying that his son was a genius and could not fail to win the first place. Someone must have affected the study of seeing off. Just at that time, Lin Pan passed by a few words and provoked the pot that affected his study to the woman. Wang Ai Nan rushed into the classroom like Amisil and beat and scolded the heroine without saying anything. She said that the woman deliberately seduced her to see her off and affected her son's study. The weight of the 90.00 kilograms was on the woman's body, and she kicked her belly hard. The woman was beaten to a ruptured corpus luteum and sent to the hospital for emergency treatment. After the incident, Wang Ai Nan also spread rumors in front of his neighbors that the woman was sent to the hospital because of an abortion, accusing him of living in order. The hostess was almost driven out of school by excited parents. After that, his grades were a sharp decline and he was humble, like a transparent person in the class. Now Wang Ai Nan is still a bitter face, spouting saliva at me. I said why the recent farewell results have gone backwards. Indeed, as expected, you are seducing him, Fang Min, again. You have a mother and no mother to teach you. At an early age, you are hooked up with gangsters. You can satisfy your tart. You still want to hook up with our family to see off and scare your parents to death. Now you went to hurt my son again. I warn you that my son is going to take the college entrance examination soon. If you dare to affect his study, be careful, I kill you. His eyes are fierce and all the dirty words that pop out of his mouth are vulgar. I realize that it is no wonder that the fat and smelly mouth that saw him off is inherited. After observing intently for a while, I found that Wang Ai Nan's teeth and claws looked very much like the mania in the ward next door. So I concluded that seeing off your mother was crazy. Sending off was embarrassing in CMed too. Be distressed by his state of mind. Ismailed again. Fortunate lie. I am a professional in treating crazy people with 1 foot down. Wang Ai Nan was kicked down by me. The man with the dish in his hand fell to the ground, and he was pressed under him to move even to see him. Off he pulled Wang Ai Nan's hair and slapped him a few times. The secret of treating Ahmed man is to fight first, and then salute. After the fight, I broke his face and looked at it carefully. In terms of face, you have the face of Zhang Ke child. For the sake of safety after seeing off, let me help you transform it. As I said this, I picked up the big durian in the vegetable basket and hit him hard in the face. Bang, bang, bang. It smashed my face a few times, and I didn't stop leaving durian until I opened the dried durian. There were dozens of red marks on Wang Ai Nan's face, and Abrakan nose. I was satisfied with the whole face. I continued to dig out the vegetable basket. This time it took out a kiwi fruit. Istaf Ed, the hairy kiwi fruit in his mouth. What a coincidence. Your mouth is so smelly. This can purify your breath. The warm-keeping man struggled to vomit. Ikwitsky covered his mouth, picked up the crab that fell to the ground, and clamped Ed his mouth with the crab pliers. I sighed and could untido it. He just said, if you let you eat, you can eat. You have to seal it manually with crabs. How many CRabs are left? I untied them all and planned to stuff them all in. Wang Ai Nan's clothes. At this moment, Song Hing finally got up with difficulty and rushed at me. Fang Min, Dan touched my mother. I raised my hand reflexively to block it. Between the electric flint, the crab raised his pliers to ascertain part of the farewell. He whined and covered his legs, trembling, when I fell to the ground in pain. I took a breath and worried about my happiness for the rest of my life. But in an instant, I saw Pei Yan smiling secret lie. I was relieved again. Sure enough, eggs could not be put in a basket. Fortunate lie. I still have -9 and Pei Yan Wang Ena, who have begun to roll their eyes. It seems that I am going to faint. I panic. She is my future mother-in-law. If he dies, he will be sad. I am a love brain, but I can't have air to see the people. I like sad. So I grabbed Pei Yan, who was watching the scene of bustle, took off his sneakers and put them on Wang Ai Nan's nose. Auntie, these are smelly shoes for young men. They are absolutely refreshing. You smell it. Wang Ai Nan says wide-eyed suddenly. Then his eyes turned white, and he completely fainted to death. In the police station, I truthfully explained my behavior. The policeman was stunned for at least 3 minutes before he hesitated. So you said you beat him too? Treat his irritability and bad breath. I didn't tell. He hurried lie, waved my hand to deny that it was the hands of durian, kiwi fruit, and crab jelly. The policeman pinched his eyebrows and went out to make a phone call. When you come back again, you have a look of pity. Your name is Fang Min. You are an empirical person, a mentally ill person. Both parents are dead, and there is a disabled brother in the family. I nodded fiercely. The original hostess was not mentally strong. I did it after crossing. I heard that the national certificate can add credits, and I still want to be admitted to university. Hearing this, the police sighed and went out. Yes, Sovereign, is he all mentally ill? You let him and told me anyway. You beat people like this is wrong. A good apology. This matter is over. The police said so, and I bowed 90 degrees decisively. Private Marseille Ant Desk End, Wada Siva, is really a kind smekta. Of course Wang Ellen did not agree, clamoring for me to compensate him millions, or he would go to court to sue me. The police immediately sank his face and called out the surveillance to show him. From the surveillance point of view, it was you who first moved the little girl, and heard from the teacher of his school that you had beaten him into the hospital and beaten the minor before the adult caused serious injury. The court should judge you. The more he said, the more angry he became. Finally, he slapped the table hard and glared at Wang Ai Nan. Love man is a bully. When he heard that he suffered a loss in a lawsuit, he immediately changed his face and left the police station with a smile on his face, and said that he would not pursue it. After that day, seeing off when Pei Yan didn't come to school again, Wang Ai Nan was afraid that I would affect his son's study and asked Sung Hing to review at home. However, something happened to Pei Yan's family. His father was checked into the bureau and he dropped out of school. Time passed quickly, and the college entrance examination was soon ushered in. After the examination, I returned home soon, but did not kneel at the door to meet me, as usual. The living room was empty and there was no sign of him. I didn't trust to find it. Instead, I went to the kitchen to cook the oil and pretended not to find 2 kitchen knives missing from the shelf. Half a minute later, the door of the house was locked, and heavy footsteps gradually approached me. 2 gangsters with knives broke into the house, laughing and shouting, "Hey, surprise, mother!" After seeing clearly the oil pan in my hand, the smiles on their faces froze, the words stuck in their throats, and the advance stopped. I laughed. "Ha, mother waved her hand here and poured all the hot oil on their faces." "Ah." The 2 screamed and covered their faces. It took the opportunity to grab the knife from the rolling pin and hit them in the head. After subduing them, I found Fuju in the bedroom, who had been beaten, black and blue all over. Fuju told me that the 2 gangsters broke the lock and thought they were stealing, but they didn't expect to meet anyone. So the burglary turned into a burglary. They tied Fuju up and wanted to kill him, but after seeing my photos, they felt grateful and disgusted to rape me first, and then kill me, in order to prevent me from escaping. I deliberately hid in the bedroom, trying to make a surprise attack while I was unprepared. I was also a little scared when I heard it. If I hadn't habitually looked at the monitoring at home before going upstairs and found something unusual, I was afraid they would have suckered it. I kicked my feet severely. Their heads showed white teeth and two bad things. Even if you like me and want to steal my things, you can third food you a dare to attack my predecessors before enter the door. If I really enter the door, wouldn't he make my house restless? It dragged them downstairs with a kind. The fertilizer and water did not flow into the fields of outsiders. I didn't want them, which didn't mean others didn't want them. There lived a fool downstairs, a strong man with Attiger back and a bare waist, but he was born with defective IQ. At that time, he also made my idea and wanted to rob me to be his wife. He went up directly with an electric stick. He immediately lay down and saw clearly that your father and I was your wife. After that, he became honest. Every time he saw me, he giggled and motioned with his hand. Hello, Dad. Goodbye, Dad. When the door opened, the fool wiped the big snot on his face and asked with a smile, what's wrong with Dad? He motioned to look at the two people on the ground and see that Dad brought you two male daughters-in-law. Hearing this, the fool say suddenly wide-eyed and his excited face turned red. Thank you, Dad. I continue to tell, but do not hide it. And Don, let your wife run out. He nodded as it was sly, carrying the two men to go back to the house. I waved goodbye outside. This fool can distinguish between men and women, and as strong as cattle. You two can be blessed in their desperate case. I gently closed the door. I wish you three a happy wedding and an early birth. After graduation, the colleagues unanimously decided to have a break-up meal. Pei Yan and his TA said decision not to attend the breakup meal. So the breakup meal became boring. I opened the small cake he bought conveniently, planned to have some dessert. Just then, a little boy came up next to me. He pointed to my cake and said, confident lie, I want to eat that for me. Originally, I was bored during my physiological period. Hearing the duck-like voice of this child was even more annoying. He looked up lazily and said, I will give you whatever you want. I want you to die. You go. The dead child sipped his mouth and stared at me. Suddenly, he stretched out his hand to grab my cake. Fortunately, my eyes were fast and I covered the cake. I narrowed my eyes and felt that my heart was burning more and more. I said no, but the little thing spit on my cake. Bah, I let you eat. You eat my saliva. As a mental illness, when would it be better not to go crazy at this time? I caught the child, clamped his shoulder, and wanted to eat mango. You think you look like a mango, Eon, willing to chew his teeth and his head. Why are mango monks so hairy? I pulled out all his hair. Suddenly, when my leg got wet, the child urinated directly on my leg. He cried and showed Ted, whining milk. Someone bullied me. He took off his pants and stuffed Ed, the urine-soaked place, into his mouth. You called me milk, I will let you. You eat. You eat. You eat. The garbage should be thrown into the garbage can. I took him and threw it directly into the trash can. It's funny to say that. When the child rolled around, the parents were just like dead. Now they have been taught Allison. They know that when they showed up, the old woman threw a little thing at me. A big horse. He was still a child. And he crawled to his feet. I'm mentally ill and is not illegal to kill. You want to kill people. Convulsions. Peristalsis. Gloomy crawling. Foaming at the mouth. Suddenly he grabbed the old woman's scalp and gave her an eerie smile. Hey. Kill you first or kill the little thing first? The old woman's face was scared to death and she screamed. Mama, she was mentally ill. Then she ran wild with her great-grandson in her arms. The video of the hotel was posted on the internet, where the became popular. Netizens searched deeply and found that I was actually the #1 scholar in the province. This year, this hot search exploded. The #1 scholar in the province was the #1, and John Hazy was crazy. Netizens were happy after watching the video. It turned out that Zuba was also crazy. What a beautiful mental state. Indeed, I was not crazy enough to learn. The next time I met John Hazy, I would do the same. He could even endure not being John Hazy. He was really too qualified. I cried to death. See, the provincial champion has already given the answer. If you don't make up your mind, you rewrite to go crazy. Some TV stations even wanted to interview me, but I refused because I had more important things to do. After 3 days of squatting, I finally found the right opportunity to tie Pei Yan and Song Hin to my house. The two of them were tied to a chair by me and looked frightened. Fu Ju also looked confused. He didn't know what I was going to do. I'm smiling with Ekna. Dear friends, the four of us will be able to live happily together in the future. Pei Yan saw the knife in my hand and looked pale. It was wrong. Dang, kill me. I smiled to knife down. The cake was cut into 4 pieces by me. I gave them each a piece of cake. Little fools. We are gathered here today to celebrate my birthday. The three finally breathed a sigh of relief. In the evening, I saw Fang Min in my dream. College entrance examination is over. Your results can go to any university. No one dares to bully you again. Your life will start again, and you should leave. He nodded and smiled at me. This is a deal he made with Fang Min. I helped Fang Min change his tragic fate. He helped me escape from the mental hospital. Oh, by the way, I also want to take Pei Yan, -9, and see them off. Very not easy too. Meet 3 people who like each other. I can't bear to leave them behind. Fang Min was shocked for a moment and said in surprise, wait, so you really like them? Not to retaliate against them. Wouldn't take my face for granted. Of course we are pure love. He didn't speak and looked speechless. He was a little nervous when I saw that he didn't respond. You won't try regret it. Do you like them again? Feng Li looked like he had eaten excrement. Stop. I see the 4 of you live a life better than anything else. When I opened my eyes, I was not in the ward of the mental hospital, but in my bedroom. The servant came over with a tablet and showed it to me. Miss Da, who do you want to marry today? I casually rummaged a few times and saw a familiar face. The corners of my mouth slowly evoked. I knew we would meet again soon.